how far you're progressing, but you can't control how far your teammates progressing. So I think that's one thing that does deserve a lot of respect. The top teams at MLG for, you know, Halo Reach or Call of Duty Black Ops, they have been practicing together, and they, you know, they're at the weapon spawns at the right times, they're counting sniper rounds, they know the game inside and out, and they're continually feeding each other information. So I think from that aspect, it definitely deserves a lot of respect.
Anything to add there, Technoboy?
Yeah, same. There's still a lot of strategy to it. It's not just running around and shooting.
Yeah.
You still got to have your teamwork and good communication. I mean, you can have the best players, best shooters out there, but if they lack communication, they're not going to be able to do anything. Or if they have bad strategies for their team, and you still have certain maps where you can do certain things. So it's kind of like StarCraft. You might not see it as much skill because of its controller, but it still has its things that you have to work around.
That's me converted, I think. Although I will stick with TF2.
Well, one more note. You know, if you're gonna try to take first-person shooters as a little bit more competitive, just play, off the top of my head, play objective games. There's got to be a lot more coordination involved, even with random people. You'll find the communication on Xbox Live for like a Halo Reach capture the flag is a lot more intense than a Team Slayer. Team Slayer, the only time anybody talks is when they're bad-mouthing you or something along those lines. But in a CTF, you know, you have to coordinate an effort with the vehicles, and there's a lot of teamwork involved. I enjoy shooters, and there's some coming up that I'm really looking forward to. Halo 4 is going to be released by a new studio, 343. They transferred from Bungie some of their employees. There's a game coming out for console called Rage. That's kind of a post-apocalyptic shooter. It's sort of like Fallout 3, except it's totally FPS. It's just, there's a lot to look forward to in the FPS genre.
It's interesting. Right, okay. So, let's show some love to FPSs, I think, is what we'll summarise that with. Okay, so topic number 2. How to make best use of your playtime when playing StarCraft 2. Now, when sitting down to start a game, and I probably would recommend sitting if you're doing a TVT, but since there is so much more to do when laddering nowadays in StarCraft, like customs and mini-games, everyone seems obsessed with laddering. And to the point it drowns out some of the fun, like it does for me. So what would we recommend if you're a person who plays StarCraft 2, say 5 nights out of the week for a few hours, maybe more or less, and want to mix it up a bit?
Well, I will definitely defer to the pro for this one.
Just depends what you want to work on. You shouldn't just be massing games just to mass games, because then you're really just playing a bunch of games but you're not learning anything. Whereas someone can know how to practice correctly for like 3 hours and can get more out of it than someone who just masses games for like 10, 12 hours. Because I've seen people on ladder that have ridiculous amounts of games. I don't even know how they manage to play that many games in a week. I've seen someone hit maybe 600, 700 games, but then they're breaking even. They're still 50-50, and they're not really improving their game. They're just massing games. So I think you should look over your replays, see what you can fix. I really don't watch too many replays of other players. I just try to fix my own game. Games I lose, I go over them and see what I could have done. It's not just, oh, I didn't micro good, so I lost the game, that's why. But it's a lot more to the game.
How long did it take you to learn that aspect of not just analysing all your replays, but analysing them properly? Is that something you just picked up on your own, or did somebody help you to do that?
Well, when I played Warcraft 3, I was also a pro. I was one of the top players in the USA, and I came into StarCraft 2 already knowing how my mentality should be set, and so I think that's helped me out a lot. I started playing StarCraft 2 in January, so I'm still trying to do the whole catch-up thing, but I'm doing pretty well for the time I've been playing, because most of the guys out on the scene right now have been playing since beta. But I think everything that I learned how to practice correctly was more from my Warcraft 3 days, and that just carried it over.
That's brilliant. What about you, Doug?
Oh, practicing for me. I've been playing StarCraft, Brood War since 1999. Well, I mean StarCraft since '99. I wasn't competitive. I wasn't, serious about it. I was just playing PGH, money maps, and whatever. And then, there came the break where I stopped playing from like 2007 onward. And what I did was, I was watching a lot of Korean games, and I was starting to get an interest in the competitive scene and how meticulous their build orders were. And I mean, right now, people have build orders for Brood War up to like 100 supply. Like, they know exactly what's going on at what time, and it's amazing how far that game's developed. And I know StarCraft 2 is still in its infancy. We just had our first birthday for the game 2 weeks ago. But I think that the game is developing in a way that we can develop practice habits with it. Something I picked up from Trump. I watch Trump a lot. His stream, I think, is really helpful. He narrates a lot of his games. He plays Terran like me, so he's got no shame. He has an Excel spreadsheet with all of his build orders and openings and timings of things in every matchup that could detract from it. And I saw this spreadsheet, and I thought, wow, that is just like such a fantastic way to organize your thoughts. So when I'm practicing, I go into like a ladder session knowing that in each matchup, TVT, TVZ, TVP, I'm going to do this build. And I execute the build, hopefully, based on, stuff that I've input into my spreadsheet. And if I lose the game, I stop, I watch the replay, I see where I lost, where I went wrong, and I make a note of that. It's amazing to think that in it's just something stupid like TVZ. The mutas are going to come out around 9 minutes 15 seconds. If you have a Thor by then, you're completely safe. The Zerg just invested a lot of gas, and he's not going to be able to damage you that much for their cost effectiveness. So just small things like that to include in your spreadsheet, I think that's insanely helpful as far as practicing goes.
Okay.
Yeah, learning good timings is really good for this game, especially since Blizzard put in the timer in the game. It helps a lot.
Oh, that is incredible. Yeah, having that timer there, it is super helpful.
Yeah, same with at least at high level play. Like, let's say you're PBZ and you're playing against a Terran, and he's going for Banshees. Cloak Banshee hits around 720 to 730. It probably changes a little more in lower level play.
Oh yeah, but a perfectly executed one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you should know if a Terran's not expanding, that he's going for some kind of either one base all-in push, or he's going for a Cloak Banshee, and then you just know when to be ready for it. It's a lot to the game. Scouting is so important in this game.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right, between scouting and identifying the number of bases and just looking at the clock, you don't have to have that much information on unit composition to take a guess at what somebody's doing. Yeah. And that comes with practice. That comes with looking at your replays. I have a general rule. I don't watch replays of me winning. I don't. Unless it's an epic game, and I think it'll be fun to share with some of my friends. The losses are the ones you got to study. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any of these mini custom games that we'd recommend to anyone? Kind of like the little there is a proper name and it's gone. Kind of like Eye of Chef, except ones that people have made, where you have 20 roaches run round past your marines and you have to kill them all. There's loads of little games like that. Is there any of those that you've played? Because I don't play them personally, but I was interested in doing so. But I was wondering if there's any that you two could recommend that maybe you've played that would help improve someone's play slightly.
There's a Marine Splitter that's pretty useful for Terran players. It helps you not get blown up by Banelings. I don't remember the exact name, but I played it a few times.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. I've seen, actually, some of the MLG use some of the Terran players before their matches. They'll play that game just to warm up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Marines are probably the most imbalanced unit in the game, so you kind of don't want them to die 10 at a time to a Baneling. So,
yeah.
There's that. I mean, I haven't played too many customs that I really like. I like the Icy Jug ones. I know our FMFX captain, Navi, is not a huge fan of those, but I think they're really fun, just to get in there in a King of the Hill, and it's more of a discussion aspect, and then it's just back-to-back-to-back-to-back games without having to remake. So those are kind of fun, just to grind with people you know. But I haven't played too many useful customs.
Yeah, I really don't touch them either.
Okay.
Unless they're for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is that what you two do to keep it fun, or do you just stick with your customs and playing with your friends for that?
The ladder. Yeah, same. The thing I do the most is just ladder like crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the hard part is just to keep that drive and stay motivated.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, is it your teams that keep you motivated, or is it something else?
I think it's different for everyone. Everyone has their own, something that'll help them motivate themselves. But like for me, it's more music, and I'm a huge boxing fan, so I like to watch a lot of boxing videos, and that just motivates me to play some more StarCraft, believe it or not.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before. Okay.
Now you know.
I get motivated. Well, okay. Before I got motivated because I wanted to get really good at the game, and I wanted to learn everything about it. I, watching replays, and in my head, I feel like I know exactly how every game should play out. Executing it is a completely different manner, and that's why there's nobody perfect at this game, even though NEST comes damn close. I think that now that I'm a part of MFX, being the Terran coach, that gives me a huge motivation, because I want the team to succeed, and I want the ladies to be awesome and top of the line, and I want to do everything that I can to help them out, help this team succeed. I think it's a wonderful organization in general. So that's my current motivation. But yeah, playing with friends is fun too. Can't complain about that.
I would, I'm not sure what's motivating me at the moment. It's probably actually what you said, actually, Doug, to be fair, just to get better at the game and seeing these pros, or say a pro Terran, being able to just crush. And also the fact that Anna Pros has been streaming and knows very little. And it's actually sometimes watching people who are, through some miracle, worse than me, or not very good at the game, and somehow that motivates me, but I don't know why. It's probably just that I think, right, okay, it's somebody I could perhaps beat, but I don't know, actually. I do love me 2v2s though.
Yeah?
Don't know why. That's what I find fun. I find 2v2s fun.
2v2s are kind of relaxing. There's not as much stress on you, and it's social. It can be stressful, I'm sure.
I think what makes it a lot more fun too is also the interaction. And now with all these programs like Vent and Skype, and you can just be playing with your teammates and all on the same call.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm on one a high-level 2v2 team with my friend Danator, and I love getting on Skype with him. And I mean, just the other night he got cannon rushed, which probably hasn't happened to me in months. So I never let him hear the end of it. Every time I talk to him, I'm just telling him to like scout his base and shit, because that shouldn't happen. But that's the fun of 2v2. You get to rag on your teammate like that. And if I got cannon rushed, I'm sure he would rip on me too. But that's not going to happen.
I couldn't believe what I'd been missing out when I was introduced to the whole Skype and Vent while you're playing, and I was gutted that I'd missed out on all this fun for so long, you know. playing on your own is sometimes not what you want, and I loved it. It was